way it seems to be jumping in leaps and bounds. The popularity of the game so far with young girls who are keen to play. You look at the new girls that are coming to the Black Fern squad. They're heading up to Dubai soon, with, of course, a couple of our main players, Nia Williams, out with some surgery coming up, and Portia Williams injured her Achilles.
Bad
so
injury,
she's going to be going under the knife as well. So, so the depth is there, and the excitement behind it all looks good. And, you got to applaud Dr. Farah Palmer, who's done so much for the game. Passionate player, captain. There's a cup that named after her as well that they play for, and she's on their board, a lady in amongst a group of old grey-headed men, and doing her thing, and also for Maori rugby.
Yeah.
So it's a massive acknowledgement to her and to the driving point. And I think with her being there as well, it's just driven the girls' game going forward. Look, they've been champions in sevens, World 15s, everything like that. So it is massive for the country, and I hope everyone gets behind it and supports it. And it's a big event. So, I'll be one of those sitting there in the stadium watching it, and quite excited, actually.
Great reward, isn't it, Ra, for these women to finally, be able to, I suppose, put their wares on display in our country, eh?
Oh, it is, Keithy, and it'll be great for the female game here in New Zealand and globally as well. Good to see that they just picked out Australia for that World Cup, and I just hope a lot of Kiwis get behind and support the event because, if I'm being honest, a few years back, and it's probably thanks to Full-Time, I never really was a big, women's rugby fan, but, the more the boys talked about it, and the more I took time to actually watch the ladies play, I've got a bit more of a healthy respect for it, and I have seen vast improvement in the game. In fact, it's getting to that level now where it's totally different than what it was 5 or even 7 years ago. There's more cohesion, there's more sort of style, and there's actually a better go-forward roll-on of actual, of that rugby skill that you see in most male players. So, no, they're coming ahead in leaps and bounds, and they're still continuing to, where, thanks to events like the World Cup being held in New Zealand, it can only grow the game. And, look, I take the time nowadays to watch it because it's really exciting rugby to view.
One of the things that I've always, and this has been for quite some time now, that I've really liked about the women's game is their physicality. What do you reckon, Reno?
Oh, totally. Everyone watches that. Some of them will even say that the ladies' game's more physical than the men at sometimes. But it's just right. It's just a joy to watch. We see, I know they're playing tomorrow morning. Our girls up against France early in the morning. So, it's just good. Great for the country. And, mate, 2021, a big year. Like JT said, it's a Rugby League World Cup year. And also we host the Women's Rugby World Cup here in our country.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool, pretty excited about that. And, of course, with our women playing France over there in their second match, boy, it was a tough one in that first test last weekend, Reno?
Yeah, totally. No one would have picked a nil or, half-time. But the French come to play, mate, and I reckon they'll turn up again tomorrow morning as well. So they've got nothing to lose. Every team wants a knockover. A New Zealand team being number 1 world ranked, and good on them. They bring the game to the game. It just shows that our All Black team or our Black Fern team have to just expand and change a few things up to get their dominance again. But it should be a good game tomorrow morning. I look forward to it. Yeah,
me too. That's got to be a game you're going to be looking forward to as well. I think 8 a.m. is when it kicks off. Is it tomorrow there, Reno?
2:45 early tomorrow morning. 8 a.m.'s the Māori All Blacks unfortunately collapsed with the All Blacks. So,
yes, that's right.
Those two games are at 8 a.m. Yeah. So a bit of a rugby feast. To be a few tired eyes, I would guess, by Sunday lunchtime. But hey, if you're a real staunch rugby fan, you'll be out watching it, no doubt.
Yeah.
And let's face it, there's plenty of them around.
There sure is.
I just want to quickly go back to what JT talked about with the Jamaican League team. Mate, that's a movie in the making. If they come through and win it reminds me of Cool Runnings.
Yes.
Exactly. Yes. With the Jamaican Rugby League team.
Yes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, John Candy's not alive to be part of that. But, someone might pick it up and make it into a movie, especially if they win.
Probably American. Probably an American, obviously. They're usually the ones with all the money. That would be pretty cool, though. What do you reckon, Ra?
Oh, yeah, in fact, while the boys were just talking about it, I was trying to think of which one of Uncle Bob's song would be like a good theme song for the movie or the event. And look, I'll tell you, too bad Usain Bolt wasn't playing soccer. I reckon he'd probably make a good leaguey player as well out on the wings or somewhere where he could use his pace and his height. But, that's a good thing. And I hope countries like Jamaica, they really run with the game and they adapt to it, because I'll tell you, it inspires other up-and-coming countries. And, once again, it all comes down to the growth of the code. And, that's all you need, minnow countries like that. And as the boys have said, like the Cool Runnings movie, out of nowhere, a nation that's not expected to do well. You get a country like that comes from nowhere and sort of does extremely well. Well, then that's enough to sort of promote the sport. And, look, I'll tell you, if nothing else, I'd like to watch them, because they're sort of talented athletes, and, to see how they throw the ball around and how they play their style of league would be interesting.
True. What do you reckon?
I just hope they don't knock the ball on with their polo stick, boys.
What do you reckon, JT? What?
Is that their joke? Is your wife named Wendy as well? Oh man, welcome to Jamaica. Have a nice day.
Well, what do you reckon? What sort of style do you reckon will suit the Jamaican team if they get going, JT?
Oh, definitely a firm track, hard and fast. They like to throw the ball around. I saw probably 4 or 5 club games while we were there, and like I said, it reminded me a lot of the Fijians. Very athletic, very hard, very physical. Just need a little bit of direction here and there, and some good coaching. And it looks like they've improved, because I watched the game on stream. I streamed the game against Canada the other day. They just blew the Canadians off the paddock, which was good.
Nice.
So yeah, nothing, no athleticism is missing. They've definitely got the package there.
Yeah.
Sorry to use the pun package, but
fair enough. Anyway, guys, we're going to go to a break. We'll be back with more Full Time right after this. Tūranga FM.
You're listening to a podcast produced by Tūranga FM, #1 iwi radio station in Aotearoa. We play each full-time session on Tūranga FM Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. You can listen in live on our Tūranga FM media page. Just click the main Tūranga FM logo to tune in online. Or if you're in the Gisborne area, we're on the radio frequencies 91.7, 95.7 and 98.1. Also check out the Full-Time Facebook page where you can listen to the podcast again. Make comments and click links that will lead you to other ways to listen to the podcast, such as Spreaker, iTunes, SoundCloud, Twitter, YouTube, Podchaser and Tumblr. Right, let's get back to the Fools on Full Time.
Welcome along to our second session here on Full Time. I'd like to send another shout out, of course, going out to our sponsors, Racecrack Motors, down there on Grey Street. I also want to say a big shout out, send a big shout out to my brand new niece. I think she's like 4 or 5 days old, Chimera Kali Manu Niwa, who was born on Monday or Tuesday. So a big kia ora going out to my brother who added some more babies to our whānau. So a big kia ora going out to my brother Adam, and also to his lovely wife Shin as well. So big kia ora going out to them. Now we've got the All Blacks, man. We've got the All Blacks coming up as well as the Māoris, Reno. Man, those are going to be a couple of really good games, eh?
Yeah, both games will be good. The All Blacks, first and foremost, world #1 versus 2. We'll see what happens here. I think I said on Wednesday that on halftime that I think the All Blacks should be too good. I would guess in this game. Centre pairing of Jack Goodhue and Ryan Crotty. I see, what's his name? Playing for Ireland now. He used to be over here, Bunty.
Yes.
Starting in the centres there. And I know they've got a few players out, the Ireland team as well. Six Nations champions up against the International Rugby champions, World Cup champions. It's got everything on the cards. It should be a big game. It'll be a physical game. And, hey, the Irish will be proud. No doubt they'll pull out the good old Tana Umanga, Brian O'Driscoll type of thing. But, hey, a lot of passion, Irish passions, Ireland passion, everything like that. So, yeah, it'll be a big game.
Yeah, what do you reckon, Ra?
Yeah, I don't think Irish eyes will be smiling after that match there, Keithy. I think, one thing the All Blacks took away from that Pommy game, that England game, is the fact that it was a tough encounter and, they had to claw their way back into it. And I think, coming off a real kind of mega match like that, I think they're just going to be too strong for the Irish. The Irish are going to give it their raw. They're going to put up a good game. But I think if the All Blacks get their go forward going, man, it could be a good score against the Irish, but let's hope it doesn't happen like that because it makes for a one-sided and boring game. But in saying that, let's hope the Emerald Greens don't also kind of upset us, which I can't see that happening. But no, it's going to be a great match, and it's been sort of profiled as number one versus number two. But I think the ABs, thanks to that England game, I think they're just going to be too strong on the day.
What do you? Well, let's go back to the England game there, Ra. What were your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, well, I'm glad we won it. As I suppose most Kiwis are, and the Poms in their place. But I think a lot probably had to do with the ref, especially when that last try was disallowed. I think if they had a Four Nations ref or even a Southern Hemisphere ref, I think the Poms would have been given that try. I really do. But they had an Italian ref, so he sort of made that judgment call. And when they reviewed the game after that try afterwards, it did tend to be the right decision, and that's not being biased. But no, the ABs were lucky to come away with a win. But a lot of people say that they just won it and they should be thankful. But how they won it, I mean, they came back from 15-0 down in the cauldron that is England Stadium in front of that swing low chariot crowd and up against a good England team. So, if anything else, I take my hat off to the ABs. It's a quality, Class C team. I think they deserve a lot more credit. England played really well, probably as well as they can do, and they still couldn't beat the ABs, even though it was a one-point ball game. But, no, I think the ABs, they're looking good as we head into next year's World Cup. And as I say, Keithy, I think if they get the wood on the men in green, I think it could be a good score.
The English did play well, Reno? Just not well enough. Hey, what do you reckon?
Well, that's right. They had their game. They should have won their game. They should have taken their penalty opportunities when it was on offer. But you got to talk about the All Blacks, and Ra touched on that, to come back from 15-0 down, get up to halftime 15-10, then get on through, keep the Pom scoreless, and get 6 points and win it by 1 point in the end is a great result for a champion team. But that England team, their missed opportunities, with a number one kicker in their team, they should have taken the 3 points. And I suppose they'll be regretting that, but that's the result. We win, we carry on, and the pressure is back on our team again to face Ireland and Dublin, and that'll be a big game. But hey, that's rugby. When you take on some of these Six Nations teams, you touched on the Ireland referee as well. Well, we know the Italian referee. We do play Italy next weekend, so Irish will be a big game. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I'll look forward to it. That's how we can get through and win. And, it doesn't matter if we lose these games. It's next year. That's where the big focus is, Japan 2019. We won't talk about this England game again once we get through to the World Cup. So we'll see what happens, eh?
Yeah, true enough.
I think for me, it's Aaron Smith will break Justin Marshall, the best commentator of the game we've ever had, his record. I think it's going to be 83. Aaron Smith runs out for. You think this young kid played down in Fielding, stayed at Manawatu, and Dave Rennie kept him down there for a $5,000 contract. You thought, yeah,